What's up, everybody? It's Justin. Welcome to Live Ask Me Anything, number 65. Tonight, we're talking all about fitness, but you know the drill. I gotta make sure everything's working. One, hold on a second. I'm gonna plug that phone in just in case, because I don't know how much of a charge I have. Let's see here. Live, what's up, Laura? I'm talking to you from behind the camera. Sneaky. Plug in. Boom. Okay, we got power now. Awesome. Just makes me feel a little bit more comfortable when I got power plugged in. I got the podcast running. Guys, there's so much to keep track of. I love being in front of the whiteboard, though. I got my whiteboard back. I'm happy. All right, podcast running, GarageBand running. Let me make sure that I'm live on my side here so I can see your comments and stuff. Let's see. Yep, okay, cool. It says live. I'm gonna click for more. I'm gonna make sure I can see everybody. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. Hold on. My computer's being weird. Hold on a second. There we go. Click for more. Okay, I got you. I got everybody. What's up, Judy? What's up, Laura? What's up, Deidre? Who else we got? I don't like that. I can't see all the names. Watching now. Oh, there's a big list. I can pull up the whole list. Jennifer, Dulcie, Deidre, Jessica, Laura. Awesome. All right, what's up, everybody? This is AMA number 65, and if you guys are in the Clovis Academy, in any of the private Facebook groups, the Clovis Academy, I am Clovis, Clovis Kids, all those things, you already know that we're going to be talking about fitness. Tonight is all about fitness, and also a lot of these questions, I have some AMA questions that were submitted on the back end, but like super close to this episode starting. Like I was getting questions at like 7:55. So I have them in a folder here. So if I have time at the end of this episode, I might pull up this folder with these questions that just came in from ama.imclovis.com. So there's a website, ama.imclovis.com, where you can ask me AMA questions and I'll answer them here. So I'll take a look and see how much time it takes me to get through this kind of little presentation I have about fitness. And then I'll see if I can answer some of those questions, whether they're fitness related or not. I don't know what a lot of those questions are. I'm just gonna reload the notebook and see what came in since I last posted that link to the private Facebook groups. If you're not in the Facebook groups, get on there. Facebook.com/groups/Clovis Academy. Facebook.com/groups/Clovis Academy. That is where you can join the Clovis Academy 100% for free. It is a private group, it's a safe space. Join that. I'll approve you as a member. Go in there and talk to some people about the results. There's over 1,600 members in there right now. A wealth of free information. Use that search tool. You can search everything from cholesterol to dark chocolate and weight loss and everything in between. Ask people if they have the same symptoms you're having. Anyway, it's a good little way to get into the Clovis community, 100% for free. Join that group, talk to others who have done this, who are already a little further along in their health and wellness journey. Get on those Facebook groups. I really recommend you do it. I would imagine that most of you who are here tonight, I'm looking at these names, already know who I am. My name is Justin Nault. I am the founder and CEO of Clovis. I am a certified nutritional therapist, certified specialist in sports nutrition, certified specialist in fitness nutrition. I help people transform their lives. I don't know why I feel the need to do the credentials spiel every time I'm in front of the whiteboard. I feel like I'm doing a lecture. This is a lecture, and I have now become a professor. And now we're playing make-believe like I'm a little kid, because I'm definitely not a professor at all. Okay? Let's dive in, everybody. So, this is AMA number 65, and I have titled this lovingly, If You Don't Love Fitness. And that's the title of this episode. What do I mean by that? Well, I literally mean if you don't love fitness, this episode is for you. Now, to be clear, if you do love fitness, this episode is also for you, and I highly recommend you watch it to the end. So I'm gonna take this in steps. We're gonna talk a little bit about fitness for fat loss or not, which is another AMA that I did, and then we're gonna get into my recommendations for you 100% as an average Joe who doesn't give a crap about fitness. That's what we're gonna talk about, okay? So we're gonna dive into this. I've been meaning to do this topic for quite some time on an episode, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And things that have been happening recently with Clovis, the Clovis growth has been absurd. Social media is growing. I got all these followers now. It's so interesting, right? But with that comes a lot more hate. And there are two things that I get more hate about online on social media than any other topics on planet Earth, okay? Literally, any other topic. Topic number one is that fruit is not a health food, that fruit is loaded with sugar, and that natural sugar is just as bad for you as normal sugar, okay? This whole fruit is a health food thing, and sugar. I guess I'm putting those in the same category because that tends to be the argument. I tell people, they say, why don't you eat fruit? Well, because it's loaded with sugar. Yeah, but it's natural sugar. So I get a ton of crap about that. Fruit, sugar is a big deal. Number two is that I tell people Fitness has nothing to do with fat loss. For the most part, there are caveats. It can assist with fat loss. It's not for fat loss. 100%, okay? That's not what it's for, but that's what we use it for in America because we're confused, okay? So that's the number 2 thing that I get so much hate about. That's where I probably get the most serious hate. The vegans give me a lot of hate about the fruit, and then the fitness industry people literally are really mean. That's where all the profanity and nasty names and stuff come from. And I'm just like, bro, I wish I could meet you in person. That'd be awesome. Okay? But anyway, so fruit, fitness, big things that I get a lot of hate for. People just absolutely lose their minds. It's as if I have straight up questioned their religion. And in a way, I kind of have questioned their religion because we've talked about this before and things like what makes Clovis different. That AMA, I talk about the camps, these dogmatic camps, vegan, paleo, keto, carnivore, CrossFit, powerlift, like all these different camps with their dogma. So it kind of is like I challenge their religion. They get really defensive when I try to gently suggest that their way might not be the only way, right? I get a lot of hate for that. So let's talk about fitness for fat loss. I'm going to start there. Now, I have covered this topic in depth. So I want you to go I hope this marker works, right? Go to clovis.show and check out these AMAs. So one is AMA number 11. Might need a new marker. Which is literally called Fitness for Fat Loss. AMA number 11, Fitness for Fat Loss. AMA 35 is called Why I Hate the Fitness Industry. AMA number 47 is called Rethinking Fitness. Again, all at clovis.show. You just type in clovis.show. No .com. Don't put .com at the end. Just clovis.show. Nice and easy. You can check out those AMAs. So as you can see, I talk about this fitness thing a lot. I get a lot of hate for it. But the bottom line is, if you want to lose body fat, it's virtually 100% nutrition. How can we know this for sure? Easy. You could work out every day for multiple hours and have a dog crap diet and not lose a pound and still stay overweight. However, you can have a perfect diet and work out 0 hours and seemingly effortlessly lose body fat. Pretty simple to grasp. I'm not quite sure why this is still considered controversial in the fitness industry. I don't get it. Now, the only reason people jump to fitness for fat loss is because they still believe that calories in, calories out tells the whole story. Calories matter. Yes, I'm giving you that, fitness industry people. Calories do matter, but the type of calorie matters more than the calorie itself, okay? So it doesn't tell the whole story, but this idea is if you burn more calories than you eat, you'll lose weight. Not necessarily true, okay? So even when we have studies or epidemiology studies or meta-analyses of all these things of fitness, trying to prove that particular exercises create fat loss or whatever, right? It's really only correlation, right? It's not really causal because they're still operating. They're measuring calories burned and they're just assuming, well, if you do this exercise, you'll burn calories, thus you must be burning fat, but that's not true. It depends on the fuel substrate that you are burning. Burning calories does not mean burning fat. That's this idea of ketosis. When you're in ketosis, you're burning fat, right? So just because you're burning calories doesn't mean those calories being burned are coming from the energy substrate of fatty acids. That doesn't mean that that is happening, okay? It just doesn't. You can be burning tons of glucose and not losing any body fat whatsoever. So that's the thing. So instead, people simplify it down to calories and they say, I just need to burn a lot of calories. So they think fitness for fat loss is, what's everybody do? I'm gonna go run. I'm gonna get on the treadmill, I'm gonna get on the elliptical, I'm gonna get on the stationary bike at the cardio theater with a magazine in hand and just do my thing, right? And burn as many calories as possible. Endless hours doing cardio in hopes of burning calories. The problem is, everyone doing cardio, of all the people doing cardio, 99% of them are doing it completely wrong. There are really only 2 forms of cardio that can even assist with burning body fat, let alone cause it by itself, right? Meaning actually increase the utilization of fatty acids as an energy substrate, oxidizing fat. That's what we're talking about. And there's really only 2 ways to do it. One is very low intensity aerobic exercise for long periods of time. And I've talked about this, the 180 rule. 180 minus your age being maximum heart rate to stay under for aerobic threshold training to be burning fat. The other one is all-out bursts of energy, like something like all-out 100-meter sprints, very short bursts of energy with very long rest periods in between and done very infrequently. I'm talking once a week. And I'm not even saying you have to do that. I'm just saying this is where people go wrong with cardio. Those are really the only two things that you can do. So this 180 rule and then really all-out sprints if you're talking about cardio for fat loss, okay? But again, I recommend you go watch AMA number 11, Fitness for Fat Loss or Not is the title of that episode. The or not part being the main topic of the conversation in that episode. I mean, I pretty much give it away in the title. Fitness for fat loss or not, okay? So everyone's doing cardio wrong. They think cardio is for fat loss. It is not for that. And everything in between aerobic threshold and sprints is nonsense for fat loss. It's the opposite of fat burning, right? It's literally just burning glucose, and if you don't have the available carbohydrates, if you're not getting exogenous ketones, your body will make it via gluconeogenesis, and you're still burning sugar instead of burning body fat, right? So this idea of like jogging and 8 or 7 minute miles, and you're at 70 to 80% of your max heart rate, and you're huffing and puffing, and you're sweating, it's all for nothing. Don't do it. For everybody from my average Joes to my professional athletes, I have seen virtually zero benefit in any human with that form of training over the long term. Just telling you flat out, I don't use it in any of my programming for anybody, even pro athletes. I don't have them doing distance running. It just doesn't make sense unless it's aerobic threshold training and I'm trying to put them through the fat adaptation process in the off season. I'm getting way off topic here. Let's continue. Bottom line, fitness does not have much to do with fat loss, okay? What happens in the fitness industry? So what happens is you hear these terms, get in shape, and we talk about New Year's resolutions all the time and all these things, right? So what happens is you go try to research fitness and you get hit with these main camps of fitness. And you're really talking about just a few. At this point, it's bodybuilding, which is kind of a blanket term, CrossFit, DVD programs like Beachbody, right? The most popular. I'm not picking on it, but it's the most popular. Distance running, these endurance sports, or what I call woo-woo yoga, okay? Now, to be clear, woo-woo yoga is my favorite of all of those. Like, I think woo-woo yoga is actually great. It's just, I call it woo-woo yoga. It's really like spiritual yoga, you know what I mean by yoga people, and the balance and wellness, this kind of approach to yoga, which I think is great, but it's just not the best for performance-oriented things, like getting in quote-unquote better shape or preventative maintenance of joints or skeletal muscles, all these things, right? It has a whole lot of benefits, but there's ways of doing yoga that are better than that for what we're talking about today. Go find your woo. I love woo. I'm super spiritual. You guys know my story, right? But I'm saying right now, talking about quantifiable performance metrics for this fitness thing. Okay? So really, it's bodybuilding, CrossFit, DVD programs like Beachbody, distance running, and woo-woo yoga. That's really it. Those modalities dominate social media above all else, hands down. And yet, all of the most effective forms of fitness and specific exercises that are most effective fall somewhere in between those categories. Like CrossFit will have some of those things, but tends to do them dangerously and in a way that I don't particularly like. Bodybuilding will have some of them, but not all of them, and also in a somewhat dangerous way that I don't particularly like. I can't find a good reason personally to ever do any distance running ever unless you have a bucket list goal of running a marathon, or you genuinely love running and you want to do a marathon, or you want to do a half marathon or a triathlon or something like that. Great, go for it, right? I see no reason to do it. It's not great for fat loss. I don't personally want to do it. And then we have the woo-woo yoga. Like I said, I love woo-woo yoga. I think it's wonderful. I'm going to keep saying woo-woo yoga just because it's hard to say and it's silly. Okay? Woo-woo yoga, woo-woo yoga. I love it. Awesome. Go do it. But not for this particular goal. Okay? We're going to talk about some different things. There are different ways to do yoga. Basically, I guess it would be somewhere in between woo-woo yoga and like straight up like athletic hardcore yoga, right? Somewhere in there is like mobility yoga and strengthening yoga, like body weight yoga. That's really, it is a physical exercise in itself, right? And I have a podcast coming out on the Perfect Paleo podcast, which you can get on all major podcast platforms, with a guy named Dean Pullman. And Dean runs Manflow Yoga. And he's got a deal for the listeners. I can't wait to drop this episode. This kid is a freaking treasure trove of all things physical fitness. amazing, amazing. But he's a big yoga guy, and he does yoga in my favorite way I have ever seen it done, ever, period. So I'll talk to you about Man Flow Yoga. After that episode comes out, we'll hook you up with a deal and everything. So if we talk about these things, CrossFit, bodybuilding, DVDs, yoga, distance running, what do they all have in common? The number one thing they have in common is, well, I don't know what word to choose here. I was gonna say cult, but I'm just gonna say camp, okay? They're camps. They're all camps with evangelical followers. Super evangelical followers that think this is the end-all, be-all of fitness. Everybody who does anything besides the fitness that I do is simply just dumb, right? They are obsessed with this. It is their lifestyle. There's dogma, there's camps, there's tribes, there's hashtags. Hashtags everywhere, right? Again, the rejection of virtually all other approaches, and the constant overtraining. They all do it too much, okay? Constant overtraining. It's as if when you're in one of these camps or something, that the more hours you spend doing this training modality, the more worth you have as a person. Literally. How many of you feel guilt or shame for not working out? Most Americans feel this. They see fit people on Instagram, they're like, oh man, I feel guilty now, right? It's as if your self-worth is literally tied to the amount of physical exercise you do, and that's crazy. It's lunacy. What about the rest of us? What about those of us who don't want to live hashtag FitFam style and pose in Lululemon, right? I don't want to do that. I don't do it, okay? So that's what brings me to the title of this episode. If you don't love fitness, it's okay, okay? First of all, we're going to get there. But if you don't love fitness, social media is probably super annoying. And I know this because I own a nutrition company. I live in this world, the nutrition and fitness space. I'm in it every day. By the way, I love fitness. I am a fitness addict. Absolutely love it. I would love to work out every single day, all the time, but I know better, right? But so if I am in the fitness and nutrition industries all day, every day, and I love fitness, and I find social media super annoying, I can only imagine what that is like for you. I can't even imagine it if you don't love fitness. Like if I see one more clearly posed picture in a Planet Fitness mirror with my leggings on with an inspirational quote from someone I've never met, I mean, literally, I'm gonna puke. It's crazy, right? It's nonstop. But anyway, I digress. Okay, so this episode is for those of you who genuinely do not love fitness, and I'm gonna take this in steps. So let's see how I want to do this. I never planned this whiteboard stuff, so I have no idea what I'm about to write here, but I'm going to take this in steps, okay? So step number one, again, if you don't love fitness or if you love fitness, is still valuable. Step number one, be honest. You're not a bad person because you hate fitness. You're not. You're not a bad person because you literally hate working out. First of all, fitness goes against all of our genetic programming for survival. It is built into our DNA to expend the least possible amount of calories while consuming as many calories as possible. That's the survival code for every living thing in the animal kingdom, period. That's why there are literally millions of you who hate the FitFam stuff and you just hate working out. Don't be afraid to admit it. Be honest with yourself. That's important. We talk about self-awareness in Clovis all the time. Don't try to fit a square peg in a round hole. If you hate fitness, be honest. I'll give you an example. I absolutely hate running. I never want to run a half marathon. Never want to run a full marathon. I don't understand how that is attractive to anybody. I don't get it. If you gave me the choice between running a marathon and fighting Conor McGregor, I would fight Conor McGregor. And I would hope for a 6-second knockout so I can go home and drink some salt water and take some omega-3s and move on with my life, right? I don't want to run the freaking marathon. Just don't want to do it. But that doesn't make me better than the runners. They love it. If you love running, go run. If you really love it, like, do it. You're not better than me because you run. And I'm not better than you because I don't run. I'm not better than you because I do jujitsu and you don't do jujitsu. You see what I mean? Like, we gotta get rid of the dogma, right? If you hate something, just don't do it. That's it. But we need to remove the idea, again, that self-worth is somehow connected to the amount of time you spent working out. We treat it like this badge of honor. It's ridiculous. So step one, start getting honest, start being honest with yourself, and just admit that you hate all this stuff and move on to what you actually need to learn for the bare minimum of being a healthy person. Which brings me to step number 2. Some of you may know the term MED. Some of you may not. This may be the first time you're hearing it. In my opinion, you cannot live an optimal, healthy life, a life of optimal health and longevity, disease prevention, all these things, anti-aging, prevention of aging poorly, right? It's really important. In my opinion, you can't live a life of optimal health and longevity without physical exercise, okay? So I'm gonna teach you how to adopt minimum effective dose, okay? We're gonna talk about minimum effective dose for training. Now, this is such minimum effective dose that even if you have a custom plan from me and I'm telling you not to work out because it's too beginning stages or whatever, I'm actually comfortable with everything I'm gonna teach you in this episode because it's minimum effective dose. It's not too much for your cortisol levels or your inflammation levels or any of this, right? So here's a great analogy. I hate taxes. Hate them. I hate taxes, but each and every year, I still want a beneficial outcome each tax season, right? I want a good outcome for tax season. So what do I do since I hate taxes? I pay a CPA to do them for me, and that sucks. It's expensive. Sure, I could save money by doing them myself, but they would be done poorly, and I would hate every second of it. I would be miserable for a much longer period of time. By paying someone else, it's a much shorter period of time because all I have to do is receive a tax organizer from my CPA, gather a few documents, answer a few questions, send it all to my CPA in a disorganized mess, and she does it for me. That work that I just did, that small amount of time that I actually spent on my taxes is my minimum effective dose for taxes, meaning the bare minimum effort I can get away with to achieve the desired outcome. Minimum effective dose, what is the bare minimum amount of effort you can do to still achieve the desired outcome? If you don't love fitness, this is how you should approach it. If you don't love fitness, this is the answer to your problem, okay? And notice how I said your desired outcome, okay? Because this is different for everyone. If your desired outcome is to deadlift 400 pounds, then your minimum effective dose is going to be much, much, much different than the person who's literally just looking to cover all their bases and make sure that they have healthy aging, right? That they just can move around and carry the groceries and play with their grandkids and stuff, right? That's a way different minimum effective dose than the person trying to do a 400-pound deadlift, right? They're gonna have to do different amounts of work, different volumes of work is gonna be their minimum effective dose. Now, a quick note about this episode for those of you that do love fitness, because I know a lot of you love fitness, and I do. But the thing is, it's also for those of you who love fitness and you can't prioritize it right now. Stop with the guilt, stop with the shame. This happens to me all the time. I used to work out way more. I have a gym in my house. And I used to work out way more because now I run Clovis. Clovis is growing faster than it has ever grown in the past. It's staggering. It requires a lot more of my time. Do I love fitness? Yes. Can I prioritize it over Clovis right now? No, I cannot. So I prioritize Clovis first. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to be working out more later in life or at a different phase of my life. So I don't feel guilt or shame for this because I'm not working out 90 minutes a day or whatever, right? Just means right now I can't prioritize it. That's totally fine. I don't need to feel bad about that. I just do what's required for my desired outcome, my minimum effective dose, which is basically a baseline level of athletic performance along with optimal health and longevity. That's my desired outcome, okay? So again, to talk about what this episode is for, and then we're gonna dig into the good stuff. The episode is not only for people who don't love fitness, it's also for loads of other people. Let's just talk about this, okay? It drives me crazy when the fitness industry is in some fancy Globo gym and they have $110 Under Armour outfit on and a pre-workout shake and a post-workout shake that are both $40 a month and a fancy shaker, and they're like, just get after it, no excuses, and then they're eating organic chicken and brown rice and all these things. Not everybody can do that, everybody. Stop throwing that out there on Instagram, just like, if you're not doing this, you're lazy, no excuses. It's not that people are lazy, right? This episode is also for a lot of other people. Maybe the single moms who are too busy because they have 2 or 3 jobs, the people who can't afford a gym membership or at-home equipment, the entrepreneur who's running a startup and works day and night, the CEO who has shareholders to answer to and is working 60 plus hours per week, or even the people in the medical field who are pulling 3 12-hour shifts in a 72-hour window, or someone who just has a normal 9 to 5, and when they are at home and they have some spare time, they want to spend as much of it as possible with their family, right? And then, of course, the people who genuinely don't love fitness. This episode's for a lot of people. So let's dive into the good stuff. And before my fitness lovers lose their mind on me, you fit people, fit fam, this is not for you, okay? Pay attention, because I think it's important, but if you want to tune out, go ahead, because this isn't for you. Don't yell at me and say, that's not enough, that's not enough, that's not enough. It's plenty. It's minimum effective dose, okay? So, remember, all of the advice going forward is minimum effective dose for overall health and wellness in an average person, okay? Minimum effective dose for an average person. I may have room to do this here. Yes, okay. So, how much time each week? Total number of time spent working out each week, in my opinion, minimum effective dose, 2 hours. Yep, I said it. 2 hours total, maybe less. Maybe less, okay? And I'm talking about broken up into 3 to 4 workouts. 2 hours total, okay? Now, that's the amount of time per week. Each workout, let's say, on average, 20 to 30 minutes. 20 to 30 minutes per workout is just fine. So let's say 20 to 30 minutes 4 times per week. That's 2 hours, or less than 2 hours, right? Now, before I continue, let me just be clear about something here. For those of you that are busy, I'm very busy. I promise you, okay? There are 168 hours in a week. Now, if you were to say you sleep 8 hours per night every night, that brings us down to 112 hours per week. If you work 40 hours per week, you're then left with 72 hours. I'm asking you for 2 of them, maybe less. So let's be realistic here. I'm a busy guy, but even I am not so busy that I cannot give up 2 of 72 hours of free time in a week. Okay? So let's talk about minimum effective dose. I'm not asking you for much here. I'm going to get into exactly what this is. So I'll leave this here for now. So 2 hours a week, 20 to 30 minutes per workout, and we'll say 3 to 4 workouts per week. Okay? Now, I don't think of fitness as workouts, right? So this word workout, see, this gets confusing to people, right? I don't really like this term workouts. I don't really think of it that way. I would almost call it sessions, and I think about it in a different way. So I tend to think of fitness not as workouts. I think of it as exercises or movements or even preventative maintenance. If we're talking about minimum effective dose, we're really talking about preventative maintenance, okay? So there are certain movements that I want to see each week for your minimum effective dose of having a super healthy body that's going to age well, okay? So, two times per week, I want to see you doing a hip hinge movement, okay? Preferably with resistance, but it doesn't have to be with resistance. So if we're talking about 2 times a week doing some kind of a hip hinge, the 3 that I will suggest to you are a squat, a deadlift, or a kettlebell swing. Now again, I'm going to break this stuff down in a serious way here because I'm talking about average people. To average people, this is sometimes scary. Squat, deadlift, kettlebell swing is sometimes scary. Now, I wish I could fit all of this on the board, but I can't. So I'm going to walk you through this, okay? So I want the hip hinge movement twice per week. Then I want one pulling movement 1 time per week, give me a pulling movement. One time per week, give me a pushing movement. Okay, so if we're talking about a pull, this might be my favorite, a chin up. And if you can't do a chin up, I'm gonna teach you about that too, don't worry. And then for push, just do push-ups once a week, okay? So this is your minimum effective dose, except one more thing that I'm gonna add in here for the total amount of time that I told you about. 2 times per week, exactly what I talked about earlier. Yoga. Do yoga twice a week. 20 to 30 minutes, okay? Now, the pull and the push can be combined with the twice per week hip hinge. So 1 hip hinge workout has a pull, 1 hip hinge workout has a push-up. Now you're talking about 2 workouts here, 2 sessions, and 2 sessions. 4 sessions total. That's it. 20 to 30 minutes. This is your minimum effective dose. If you want bonus points, get outside and walk for 10 minutes a day in the sunshine. And that's it. That's literally your entire minimum effective dose. Now, not only that, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna actually turn this into a workout example for you, okay? So again, this yoga, I'd like to see this be a little bit more like a workout than like woo-woo yoga. So you should get like a little bit of a sweat going, should feel a little bit like a workout, okay? But start where you are. So let's combine these to build an example plan, okay? So let me erase this. I wish this whiteboard was bigger. You're gonna have to replay this episode a lot of times, I think. So let's say Monday is squat, and chin-ups. Monday is squat and pull day, okay? Now, you have a lot of options here, right? So let's say you have a barbell and you're comfortable with a barbell squat. That's got a learning curve to it, so be careful, okay? And if you have a barbell, just do 5 sets of 5, the same amount of weight each time. Do a few warm-up sets, and then the same amount of weight each time, 5 sets of 5, should be pretty heavy. That 5th set of 5 should be challenging, right? That's it. Few warm-up sets with a small percentage, maybe just the barbell, or maybe a small percentage of your work weight, then 5 sets of 5, all the same weight. Now, if you have a barbell, great. If not, body weight. How do you handle body weight to make it effective resistance training? All you do is increase the amount of time under tension, okay? So if we're talking about body weight squats, you're going to go very, very slowly, okay? So if you're doing a squat, literally count to 5, you can have a clock that's ticking 1 second, okay? And literally 5 seconds down, count to 5, 1,000, all the way down. I'm gonna go out of frame if I go all the way down. 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up. That's it until you fail. Until you fail and you feel like you're gonna fall down. You feel like you're gonna fall down, right? Just walk around. Get up, walk around, rest for just 10 seconds, do the whole thing again. Till you fail. Rest for 10 seconds, do the whole thing again. 3 times through, don't count reps, you're just going to failure. That's your squat workout. You're done. This takes a matter of minutes. A set of 5 sets of 5 takes a matter of minutes. Doing this body weight squat, a matter of minutes. Then I want you to do your pull, which is chin-ups, okay? Now, for those of you that are like me, these chin-ups are gonna be weighted. I'm gonna hang a chain around my waist and I'm gonna put probably 50, 60 pounds on there for these pull-ups, for these chin-ups, right? I like chin-ups this way, okay? If you can do it weighted, do 3 sets of 5. If you're doing body weight, not quite as advanced, 3 sets of 10. If you cannot do chin-ups, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what to do. You can get a $30 chin-up bar and hang it in your door frame. You can get it at Target, Walmart, wherever, right? Then you're gonna get a chair. Stand on that chair until you are in chin-up position with your chin over the bar. Simply lift your feet and hold on for dear life. Hold on as long as you can, and when you start getting tired, slowly lower yourself, the negative. Lower, lower as slowly as you can until boom, you fail. That's it. Rest 10 seconds, do it again. Rest 10 seconds, do it again. At least 3 times through, depending on how you're feeling. Don't count reps, just go to failure. That's it. Eventually, just from doing that, you will be doing normal chin-ups in a very short period of time. Trust me, it's really unbelievable, okay? So that's it. If that's your Monday, then Tuesday, let's see. All right, I'm gonna build this out for you right now. Monday, let's say do squat and chin-up. Tuesday, rest. Or walk outdoors, okay? Wednesday, do a yoga workout. Now, to be clear, that Monday workout is going to take somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the person, okay? 15 to 30 minutes. Rest on Tuesday. Wednesday, do some yoga. It's basically like 2 rest days, okay? Then take, let's say, Thursday. You want to do, let's see, what else do we talk about in the hinges? Thursday, let's do deadlift, okay? And do your push-ups. Now, with deadlift, we run into the same situation that we do with squat. There's a learning curve here, okay? Particularly if you've never deadlifted before, or if you don't have any equipment in your house, okay? Now, ideally, if you're going to do a deadlift, you're going to want to have some kind of weight to use. If not, just do the body weight squat again. Just do the body weight squat twice, Monday and Thursday, let's say, right? And again, you don't have to follow this day thing. I'm just trying to outline this for you guys. So with deadlift, if you know how to do it with a barbell, cool, but there's a learning curve there. Be very safe. Do 5 sets of 5. Again, if your gym has a hex bar, that's even safer because your arms are down at your side and people tend to stay more upright doing a deadlift with a hex bar. Or dumbbells. If you have dumbbells in your home, if you have kettlebells in your home, that's it. Literally just put a dumbbell in each hand and do deadlifts with your dumbbells. 5 sets of 5, or if it's a really, really small amount of weight, then just do them really slow like you would do your squats, okay? Really, really slow. And the same thing goes for push-ups, okay? So the push-ups are gonna be done the same way that we talked about people who can't do chin-ups, except push-ups are gonna be done this way for everyone. Now, if you're a girl, let's say, and you can't do push-ups, or a guy and you can't do push-ups, do the old knee push-up trick. Get on your knees and do push-ups that way. But this is going to be very slow and controlled. I recommend 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down, 5 seconds up, until you fail. And once you, boom, fall down, right? Then you're gonna put yourself in midway position of a push-up and hold as long as you possibly can until you fail. Then you're gonna go up in a full push-up position and just lower yourself as slowly as you can until you fail. Rest 10 seconds, do the whole thing again. Rest 10 seconds, do the whole thing again. 3 times, no counting reps, just a failure. And then Saturday or Sunday, whenever you want to, do another yoga workout. 20 to 30 minutes. That's it. Literally, that's it. This is your whole thing, right? Now, it sounds complicated. If you haven't heard some of these terms, like chin-ups or deadlifts or going to failure or any of these things, if you haven't heard these things, then it might seem complicated to you. But when you really break it down, and I wish I had more room to kind of map this out the way that I wanted to, right? But it's 2 hinge movements a week, 1 push movement a week, 1 pull movement a week, and 2 light yoga mobility exercise workouts. That's it, right? Do you not have time for somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes, 4 times a week? That's really minimum effective dose. If you did all this, this is really all you need to be a genuinely healthy individual if, of course, you're combining this with something like Clovis. If your diet is on point, then you don't need a boatload of exercise. You just don't. This body weight, time under tension stuff, the isometric holds, the slow lowering, the quick rest, and then going to failure again, right? The same thing with push-ups, the same thing with squats. You can do this in a deadlift position. It's just a different stance, right? You can do it in a deadlift position. You can do this with virtually anything with no equipment. So again, this is literally minimum effective dose for just someone who wants to do the bare minimum because they don't love fitness or they don't have time. Now, I can strike it down to even more than this. And again, bonus points, go for a walk outside each day, right? That's it. Now, the extreme version of a time under tension is like some of these videos you guys have seen me putting up in Clovis, the 5-second count down, the 5-second count up on the eccentric and concentric movements. I'm counting with a 5-5 cadence, going to complete failure, And you only do this is the big 5 workout, which there's a row, there is a pull down, there's a chest press, a shoulder press overhead, and a leg press. 5 movements once per week. That takes somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes, but it's very painful. You blow out all your muscle fibers, and then you rest for a week. But this is a really, really good option, especially for people as they age because of things like osteoporosis. The only way to prevent and really cure osteoporosis is with resistance training. You have to do this. As you age, you need skeletal muscle, you need strong bones, because falling down is actually a risk of death at that point. And the way that this minimum effective dose works with time and retention, look up the book Body by Science. I've talked about this a million times in Clovis. Body by Science goes through the big 5 movements, 1 set to failure with this 5-5 cadence on every single move. You can do this at Planet Fitness with their machine, cable equipment, whatever, just their machines, for $10 a month. And you can go once per week. That's like ultimate minimum effective dose, and everyone can do it. Because for example, I posted a video of me doing leg press. So the last leg press I did, I did 355 pounds, 10 reps to failure. My mom laughed and said, I do that with 40 pounds, right? So for her, it's 40 pounds, but she's getting the same muscle engagement. She's getting the same benefit that I'm getting. It's just my level of weight versus her level of weight. It's still the same benefits. It's wonderful for her. I'm so glad she's doing leg press. That's amazing. So that's like true minimum effective dose, is you can do a 15-minute workout once per week. And if you want to learn how to do that, just email me at justin@imclovis.com. Now, the other thing is, I get the question a lot of people who are really in an unhealthy spot, right? So where a lot of this, it's like you're not going to get up on a pull-up bar and hold yourself over it or anything like that. So if you're really immobile, right? It sounds crazy, but you just need to get down on the ground if you can. So one of these markers that they actually use for a marker for aging of how long you'll live, life expectancy, is just, can you simply get up off of the ground, right? So this could start by being in a chair and standing up out of the chair, sitting back down in the chair, trying to get out of the chair without your hands, sitting back down in the chair. And the other thing that I love for this, if you do have a little bit more mobility, get on the ground and do some animal movements. This is crawling. Do some bear crawls, right? They have these little ape moves. You can walk like an ape. You can crawl like a lizard. You can just get on YouTube and Google animal flow or animal moves or animal movements or whatever. Do frog. We kind of move side to side, and all these different little, well, frog is straightforward, and then ape kind of gets side to side. There's all these different animal movements. There's a ton of them, but you can just look up these animal movements and you're just crawling around. You can go do it in the grass in the sunshine. It's wonderful. It doesn't feel like a workout. It's kind of play. Get outside with your kids. Play tag. Go buy a football, even if you've never thrown a football in your life, and throw it at your kid and hope the kid throws it back. Play tag. Find a hill. Walk up the hill. Roll down with your kid and giggle the whole way, and then walk back up and roll down again, right? All these little things that you can do. We have this idea in America that fitness has somehow become a punishment. And that's really crazy. Like, if you hate doing something, don't do it. If you really hate fitness, but you really want the benefits of fitness, this that I've outlined for you can actually make you a fit individual. Like, if your nutrition is lined up right, this can genuinely make you a fit person. You can go from a non-fit person to a fit person doing nothing other than this in 2 hours or less per week. And anybody who tells you that you need more than that, it's their own ego talking. They're saying, but look at what I do. Look at what I do. I do CrossFit, or I'm a trainer, or whatever. Don't feel bad. Don't connect self-worth to how much you work out. That's insanity. You see what I mean? So I want you guys to really just adopt this minimum effective dose thing. And I'm sorry if the whiteboard's a little bit confusing. It's tough sometimes. But really, 2 hip hinge movements per week, 1 pulling exercise, 1 pushing exercise, and 2 yoga workouts. Think about that. That's next to nothing. And what I'm telling you right now is it will literally transform your life. It will absolutely transform your life. So I have gotten this rap of the guy online who says, don't do fitness and you'll lose more weight, right? That's true when you guys come to me and you're obese and overweight and you're dealing with inflammation and chronic disease and all these things. But there's a reason why I say don't work out. The reason why I say don't work out is because everyone is doing it wrong, okay? That's the reason. The reason why I say, now, and again, I say this to overweight people, okay? Let's be clear, I'm talking about overweight people. If you are overweight, there's very, very few things that I want you to do for fitness, because most of fitness is going to be detrimental for you at your current state of health. Not for the rest of your life, just at the current state of health. That's why when I take fitness away from people, they lose a ton of body fat out of nowhere. They're like, oh my God, this is like effortless. It's all nutrition. I'm not even working out. I lost 13 pounds in the first 2 weeks because the other things you were doing were detrimental. If I say, hey, follow this nutrition plan and just do whatever you normally do for working out. You're gonna do beach body, or you're gonna go huffing and puffing, jogging down the road. You're gonna go try to do 8 sets of 20 reps with light weight, high rep, and hurt yourself and all this nonsense. I have to take fitness away because people don't know what they're doing. You see? So I'm trying to help you, and I want to get you to a point where you can do all these things effortlessly. And you're just like, oh yeah, like, I love it. I love my 20-minute workout 4 times a week. I look forward to it. And when you get done with the workout, you shouldn't feel like crap. Understand that. When you get done with the workout, you should feel really great. Okay? Now again, there's going to be CrossFitters that watch this and go, this guy's a sissy. And that's what's wrong. That's what's wrong, everybody. That's what's wrong with the entire fitness industry. This isn't enough. You need to be putting in the work. No pain, no gain. Blah, blah, blah. Right? That's a real problem. It leaves a lot of people in the dust. It leaves a lot of people out. It leaves a lot of people feeling excluded. It leaves a lot of people feeling bad about themselves, guilt and shame because they're not working out. If you do all this in a week, you're a freaking rock star, in my opinion. Okay? For real. And if you get the nutrition right, you don't need any more than this to get to that baseline physical fitness level where you are just a functioning human being, functioning well, who's going to age well, who's going to feel good. That's what this is all about. I don't need you to have my biceps. I don't need you to look like I do. I don't need you to do jujitsu. I don't need you to do anything that I do. I want you to be happy, right? I do those things because I like them. If you don't like fitness, here's your blueprint for minimum effective dose. This is how to be a healthy person. That's it, right? Fantastic. Let's look at some comments. Jackie, fitness sometimes looks online like it has to happen at an elite level, or why are you bothering? #ego. Exactly. That's exactly what that is. That is ego. It is look at me, trying to prove self-worth externally because they don't have it internally. And that's really sad, okay? I don't do these physical fitness things. I don't do them for you or anybody. I do them for me, right? That's it. So, but that's also why my whole Instagram feed isn't me shirtless and me in gym mirrors and blah, 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 blah. I don't play that game. Get it, Cheryl? Yeah, mama, she's doing leg presses. We always fail in TRX abs for sure. TRX, yes. TRX is pretty cool, but again, I'm making sure just, trying to go with as little as I can. Like you could do all this with body weight. Even the deadlifts, you really could do body weight. It'd be a little strange. Pick up 1 kid in each arm, or a dog and a cat or something, do some deadlifts, But I'm just trying to keep it to like, just no excuses. Yoga, you can get for free online. You can get all sorts of yoga programs on YouTube. You can literally take any word and type in yoga. You can put like elderly yoga, sweat yoga, hardcore yoga, quick yoga, 5-minute yoga. Find whatever you want. Do 2 yoga workouts a week. Nice and easy, right? What else we got? I'm in physical therapy school right now, and those movements are awesome, super functional, and great for posture. 100%. And Dean and I talk about this in this upcoming podcast, is most people spend their days like this. Right? I'm on a phone, typing on a computer. So he points this out in the episode, and it was such a light bulb moment for me. We need to do the opposite of what we do throughout the day, right? You guys, I'm at my standing desk right now. This whole setup is my standing desk. I work at this all day. I do a lot. I stand all day long. I do a lot of this. So it makes sense for me to get on the ground at the end of the day and do some groundwork. If you're sitting hunched over doing this thing all day, then you need that push movement. You need this. You need that pulling movement. You need to open up, right? You need to open things up, not this slouch position that everybody is so used to. You want to do the opposite of what you're doing all day long, right? From a physical therapy perspective. What else we got? Love this. Hate it, but I'm at the gym right now. Yeah, so many people think of the gym as a punishment. It's brutal, right? The gym should not be a punishment. I'm not walking into any place that I go to that's a punishment. Like, yes, so excited to be here, right? No, it doesn't work that way. It's crazy. What else we got? This couldn't have been more perfect in timing. Donna, that's great. I'm really, really happy to hear that. That's awesome. I love when these episodes kind of hit people right where they are, lift 22-pound grandbaby on my legs for 10 minutes per day. That's a great idea. Yeah, there you go. See, that's the thing. I really like the idea of play, too. If you go outside and play tag with your kids, if your kids know, like, hey, every Sunday we get outside and play tag before dinner, and then we go in and have a big family meal. That's awesome, everybody. That is physical exercise. Physical exercise doesn't have to look like shredded 12-pack Mr. Personal Trainer who's yelling in your face, right? Doesn't have to look like that. It just doesn't. And again, there's a lot of these guys out there, like I love Jocko Willing. I love Jocko. Again, it's, what are you trying to do, man? Like that, nothing about that is healthy. Sorry. I get the David Goggins motivation thing. I get it. But what he does to his body is horrible. Don't ever do what he does. Please, don't ever do that. Ever. Okay? This idea that, like, if you're not killing yourself every day, you're useless or you're lazy is simply not true. I get the motivation aspect of it, but it's why I always tell you guys, I don't rely on willpower or motivation. My discipline brings me freedom, right? Like discipline, that's, yeah, get up and do what you need to do, right? Now people draw motivation from those people, but I just don't want you to emulate those people, right? I get it. Those guys, they're super driven. Jocko is up at 4:30 in the morning and takes a picture of it and puts it on his Instagram. Every single day he's up at 4:30 in the morning in the gym. You don't need to do that, okay? Do kettlebell swings have any benefits over deadlifts or vice versa? That's a really tough question. Here's the thing. If I had to pick, I would probably go with kettlebell swings, but much bigger learning curve. The only issue that I have with kettlebell swings is everybody does them wrong. And I know I say this all the time. I probably sound like such a jerk, really. But like, I trained with Strong First instructors for kettlebells. And I think Laura's in here too. Like, you can do kettlebells right, and you can do kettlebells really, really wrong. There are a lot of chiropractors and surgeons making a lot of money on CrossFit kettlebell swings. I assure you, okay? If you do kettlebells wrong, you are in for a world of hurt. So you really, if you're going to do kettlebell swings, you really want to get a coach. That's kind of why I didn't throw these in here, because you can watch videos online and see a proper deadlift and do it really well, and video yourself. Take video of yourself and compare it to the video online of doing a deadlift, making sure that your shoulders are pulled back, your shoulders are locked in, and that your back is flat, and your deadlift looks really good. You can compare that on video. Kettlebell swings, there's so many moving parts and so much nuance and so many little tendons and ligaments and joints are involved. It's really easy to hurt yourself, right? You're right, most people do swings wrong. Yes, exactly. I knew Laura was in here. That's the thing. I really get nervous with kettlebells. I don't like seeing people do kettlebells unless I freaking train them. That's how much I care about it, you know? Laura probably feels the same way. It's just, kettlebells are amazing. Hands down, like if I could pick, if you just wanted to do kettlebell swings as your one exercise for the rest of your life and literally do nothing else, I would select a two-handed kettlebell swing for that purpose. But the learning curve is steep. It is well worth the money to hire a kettlebell instructor, preferably someone who's Strong First certified. Laura probably knows about certifications that I don't even know about. I know Onnit has a program that there's probably Onnit certified kettlebell instructors around the country. It's very, very worth it, okay? Very, very worth it to do this correctly, okay? What else we got? So yeah, anyway, to answer your question, if I had like one favorite move on planet Earth, it's probably the two-handed kettlebell swing. And the thing with two-handed kettlebell swings is it's gotta be weighted, right? Laura might agree with this too. I believe that you have to be doing heavy kettlebell swings eventually. In the beginning, you need to learn the movements, right? But if I'm doing a two-handed kettlebell swing, I'm using a 70-pound kettlebell or above. But that's me, right? And I've been doing this for years. I started with a 35-pound kettlebell swing as a man, right? It was difficult for me at first. Now, if I'm doing a two-handed kettlebell swing, I'm gonna do 100 swings and I'm gonna do it with a 70-pound bell or above. That is me, right? But you wanna work to a level that it really is a heavy weight for you, right? And I know women that do 70-pound kettlebell swings. Like, you absolutely can get that. Crap. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Just a second. Let's see if I'm still alive. Crap. Hold on, see if it comes back. Ah, I did that last week too. Let's see. Am I still here? Okay, cool. I think I'm still here. Crap. Is it? Check, check, check. Yeah, all right. Anyway, okay. I think I'm still here. Whoa, crazy. Yeah, see, Laura swings 60 pounds bells. That's awesome. Killer. All right, I'm still live. Sorry about that, guys. Alarm on my phone. I need to remember to turn that alarm off. at this time of night, but that means it's 9 p.m. because my phone tells me to shut the screens off, and I keep forgetting to turn it off during AMA time when I am full of screens and light and all the things that will keep me up forever. All right, what else we got? I'm a fitness instructor, and deadlifts are one of the hardest exercises to teach people to do correctly. Yes. Now again, so here's something to touch on Heather's point, to touch on the kettlebells point, to touch on a lot of different things. One, mobility. There are a lot of people who are simply not mobile enough to do some of these things yet. This is why I recommend programs like GMB, Manflow Yoga is great. Gymnastics Bodies is wonderful. Gold Medal Bodies is what I'm thinking. Gold Medal Bodies, gmb.io, great website. Check out, I've done virtually every single program they have to offer, so definitely check those out. Even just the Elements course, I think is their level 1. Because, for instance, if you have terrible ankle mobility, you're not gonna do a proper squat. You're just not gonna do a proper squat. You're gonna lean forward, you're gonna put pressure in your lower back, you're gonna put it all in your quads, you're not going to engage your glutes, right? So there's a lot of women out there that are squatting all the time, like, I want a bigger booty, I want a bigger booty. They don't realize their entire squat workout, they're not engaging their glutes at all. So they're not gonna get the results that they want because they're not engaging those muscles properly. So Heather's spot on there. It's very tough. Some of these movements simply cannot be done until you take things in a stepwise fashion. Do something like an Elements program by GMB, do some yoga, do some of these animal movements, whatever, loosen things up, all right? Because a lot of these movements are counterintuitive to what people do all day with their desks and this phone neck that people have doing this all day long, all these things, right? You need to make sure the mobility is there. It's very, very important. Mobility is overlooked. That's why it's really scary to me when you put a barbell on someone's back that's never squatted before and say, go ahead and squat, do it like I did, right? Now, me, just so you guys know, I pretty much taught myself most of these things. You can do it, but it takes an immense amount of meticulous planning and education. Like Kelly Starrett's book, Becoming a Supple Leopard, was great for me. I studied that for weeks and weeks. I videotaped myself. Eventually, I ended up working with trainers and stuff and becoming, what I am now in terms of lifting and everything. So if you have serious lower back and hip mobility, no, Donna. If you have serious lower back and hip mobility, I'm assuming you mean hip mobility issues. Do you mean issues? Should you try kettlebell swings? No, and you particularly shouldn't try them without a trainer with you, okay? So, are they basically my favorite move of all time? Yeah, they are. But you really would need to work with somebody on this, and you're probably gonna have to start, again, with all this fitness stuff. If you remove the guilt and the shame, and you remove feeling bad about things, then you're able to start where you are, because the bottom line is, for some of you, sitting in a chair and getting back up out of that chair is probably difficult, okay? And that is okay. That's where you are today. What do we say with the Clovis Manifesto? Wherever I am right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be, right? You have to get these little mobility issues, these little issues out of the way before you try to do a kettlebell swing like I do. No. Don't meet me where I am, okay? So I want to be clear about this. If you're starting your fitness journey, don't meet me where I am. You have to meet yourself where you are. If you have serious hip mobility issues, there's no reason for you to be doing a weighted hip hinge movement. No, you gotta figure that out first. And the other thing is, and I will say this, and I know we talk a lot about budget and things like that, but it really is worth it to get in and find some people who can really, really help you. Even if you can only afford to do something once every 6 months, just spend an hour with a trainer and really go over some things, right? Or go over some mobility. There's people that can analyze your movements, all these different things. It's really, really important. So in general, if I had to pick, if you're dealing with hip mobility issues, and what else was it? Back and hip mobility issues. Then one, I would probably start you with some groundwork. I'd get down on the ground, I'd try to get into maybe some kind of lotus position, or just start moving around and see what you can and can't do, right? Sit in different positions, try to sit Indian style. When you're sitting Indian style, try to lean forward a little bit, right? That might be your workout. Your workout might be just moving through different positions. You might even look up something like yoga for the elderly, literally. I don't care how much you don't like the sound of that. If you were to Google something like yoga for the elderly, there's chair yoga. People do yoga in a seated position. There's a lot you can do. You have to take it stepwise. If you try to skip steps, you're gonna hurt yourself worse, and then you're gonna become completely immobile. So that doesn't help anybody, right? What type of exercise other than walking after appendix surgery? Keep feeling tired. Okay, so Aizana, I've noticed this because you've asked me this a couple times with the surgery thing. you're getting hung up on the fact that there was a surgery done. Like, so the idea of like appendix surgery was done. What's my exercise for appendix surgery? No, it's just a matter of you're healing right now, right? You're healing. I don't have a protocol to help you get over appendix surgery. You know, it's like you need to do everything you can to decrease inflammation. I think we talked about this in a previous episode. You need to do everything you can to decrease inflammation as much as possible. The Clovis approved foods list is a great step in the right direction. Heavy dosing of omega-3s, I highly recommend. Thorn, Mariva, that Mariva supplement that's turmeric and curcumin. You need to keep inflammation down. So I literally wouldn't do anything other than walking. Until you're healed from this appendix surgery, like you're not gonna go swing a kettlebell after appendix surgery. There's simply no reason to do that. So again, don't put the cart before the horse. Don't try to do things that you're not ready for because you're gonna set yourself back and start over. It's not good, right? What else we got? Laura, as a part of my RKC cert, they brought people off the street for us to train. We had to analyze their movements and deadlift to determine if they should do a swing, then had them do mobility exercises. So my point is to work with a certified instructor. Yes, 100%. And again, Laura, like I talked about, I tease people about, you know, taking a selfie in a mirror with Lululemon, $100 outfit on in a beautiful fancy gym. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can work with an instructor. I know it's controversial to say this, it's a little dangerous to say this, but online is a wealth of information. It is a wealth of information. I mean, you can practice Turkish get-ups with a shoe on your knuckles. You can do non-weighted kettlebell swings and videotape yourself for 2 hours a day just trying to see if you have that movement down before you so much as add a jug of water to your kettlebell swing to see if you can do it. You know, if you don't have the means at all, you can definitely work through some things, or you can hit me up because I know of all the good, deep, dark secrets of the internet and the ways to find things that are wonderful, right? Most of what I do has been self-taught, and then I step up, like I work with, you know, I've done everything from self-taught to working with trainers who are $250 an hour and spending days with them. Like I have done a lot in the fitness space. So I agree with what Laura's saying 100%. If you have it available to you, if you have any kind of the disposable income, you need to go work with an instructor and analyze your movement patterns. Movement patterns are everything. And Dean and I talk about this in this upcoming episode of the Perfect Paleo Podcast. Judy, does it matter what time of day? No. I'm gonna say no because all that matters is that it fits with your schedule. That's it. Now, if I were to get into hormonal response, it depends on what you're trying to do. Like, for example, if we're looking for the optimal hormonal response for hypertrophy, I'm gonna train in the afternoon, sometime between like 4 and 7 p.m., right? Just the way your hormones kind of ebb and flow during the day, like cortisol spikes in the morning, etc., right? But you do it when it fits your schedule. That's it. Don't worry about optimal time. Again, optimal time is just saying like you're meeting someone else where they are. Like Justin says optimal time is 4, I have to work out at 4. Well then, if 4 p.m. comes and goes, the odds of you not working out might be higher because you're like, well, I missed that perfect time. So the answer to your question is the perfect time is whenever you have the time. That's it. Don't worry about the benefit. There are hormones that come into play, but you don't need to worry about that because you're talking about percentage points in increased output or increased performance, and that's not what you're after, right? You're after overall health and wellness. So if I'm trying to gain 1 extra pound of muscle, like I'm on a mass gains or something, right? Then I care about the time of day, but it really doesn't matter. Is there specific qualifications when looking for a physical therapist? I am generally not the guy to ask about credentials. I love Laura's certification. Now, if you're talking about just a physical therapist, okay. Well, a physical therapist, yeah, ideally, you'd want to get a physical therapist who went to school for physical therapy and actually holds a degree. You would want that just for the basics of like kinesiology and all these things that they need to know. So yeah, like I don't know kinesiology. I would be the last person to talk to about like kinesiology. So you want somebody who preferably has a degree in these things, particularly if you're going to see a PT. Now that's why a lot of PTs are covered by insurance. Like I was hit by a car and the insurance covered the physical therapist that I had to go through for that, right? There's I can't remember it. There's a functional movement test. You can find these coaches and instructors that it's not a college degree, but it's a functional, I can't remember the functional movement test, FMP, like functional movement pattern test or something. Laura might know what I'm talking about. But they'll actually just analyze your movement. You can work with a person like that for a day. I'll put it in the show notes because I'm just drawing a blank on this. I'm really sorry. What else we got? time of day, specific qualifications. All right, so it's 9:10 now. I'm sorry I didn't get to any of the AMAs that were submitted, the Ask Me Anything questions that were submitted via ama.iamclovis.com. But you can go to ama.iamclovis.com and we can do maybe a normal AMA session next week where I just kind of sit down and answer questions. There's a lot of new people in the Clovis, I Am Clovis membership group that signed up for custom plans. It's awesome. I feel like I'm making custom plans like all day, every day. We have new partnerships with some different brands. I now offer a discount for Doc Parsley's Sleep Remedy. I now offer a discount for some amazing avocado oil from Ava Jane's Kitchen, another salt brand, some spices, a whole lot of stuff going on. So I'm constantly trying to get you guys, as you know, if you're a member of I Am Clovis, we have everything. I have discounts on kettlebells if you are an I Am Clovis member. But remember, these are all membership exclusive. If you want to get started as a member, you can go to iamclovis.com/start, iamclovis.com/start. And that will get you access to all the membership perks that you get, all the different discounts that I get on some of the highest quality supplements in the world. Again, fitness equipment, toothpaste, salt, anything you can think of, wine, Thrive Market, Butcher Box, all the things. I get you discounts on all of them. If you want to become a member at iamclovis.com/start, sign up there. Give me a shout, Justin@iamclovis.com. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was beneficial just to let you guys understand that it doesn't have to be all about elite level fitness. It just doesn't have to be, okay? So, hope you liked it. Anyway, this is AMA number 65. If you don't love fitness. I hope you enjoyed it. I love fitness. I love it. You guys will probably continue to see videos and pictures of me doing fitness and all the things, the crazy ones I've been doing for this mass gains thing. Let's see if I can put more muscle on this frame. We'll see. But anyway, if you have any questions, give me a shout. Go to iamclovis.com/start. Click the like button, click the love button, click the happy face button, click the smiley, all the different things, all the emojis. Put all the engagement on this video just to make sure that people see it. You can click the share button. You can share it to your pages. Let people know about it. Anyway, I hope this just gave you a little bit of a different take on fitness, away from the status quo norm of no pain, no gain. The more you do, the better person you are. Somehow, doesn't have to be that way, okay? And the other thing to remember, if you're looking through this, 2 hip hinge a week, 1 push, 1 pull. If you did 1 of these things a week, and were previously doing 0 of these things a week, that's a win. You've succeeded, okay? If you do 1 of these once a week, you've succeeded. Understand that. Remember, with Clovis, the goal is always improvement, never perfection. Always improvement, never perfection. Get outside, crawl around on the ground tomorrow afternoon. See how you feel. That's it. AMA number 65, if you don't love fitness. My name is Justin Nault. Thank you for being here. I love you guys. I appreciate it. I will talk to you tomorrow in the Facebook groups. It will be awesome. I'll see you tomorrow. All right? Love you guys. Get off the screens. Get some sleep. Stop with all the blue light. Until next time. Thank you guys for being here.